Hi Sagittarius, welcome to my channel. My name is Kem. So today, Sagittarius, I got for your meditative session the Page of Swords. I really like this energy because I feel like I'm seeing it two ways. It's like there's a castle here in the background. It's like someone's left the castle kind of and it's like on a journey, like someone has left, right? And I think it can be seen another way, like they're approaching someone else's house. So I'm getting the vibe of someone who, like, they've been on this journey to get, I guess, home, right? To get to somewhere they consider home, and it's like they're finally almost there, like they're finally arriving. And I feel like it obviously like hasn't been alone. They have like the little bird there, so I think they've been like divinely guided to go in search of like this home or this, I mean, home is everything, right? I feel like it's love, it's home, it's like, I feel like it's the essence of love, right? Home. It's like a place where you belong, a place where you like feel like you can be yourself, right? And I feel like there's something here with the sword. It's like this person is, anything they have to cut through to get there, they're going to. Do you know what I'm saying? They're cutting through a person, like not person like cutting through a person, but they're cutting through like all the BS, right, to get there. It's like they are being told like, and they're being guided, right? And I feel like this has a lot to do with their intuition and their third eye, because I'm seeing the feather on their forehead as kind of like they're being guided as like intuitively as well as like divinely, right? And I feel like they're approaching their destination. Like that's what I'm getting with the Sagittarius. So yeah, Sag, that's what I got for meditative session. Let's pull some cards and see what we got. Okay, Sagittarius, there's something here about the inside versus the outside. And I feel like we have here the outside and then we have the inside, right? And it's reminding me, the inside is the Page of Swords, right? The Page of Swords was like on his way somewhere, right? The Page of Swords was on his journey and he was following his like intuition and his heart, right? Like in the picture, he's like on his way, on his journey, on his way home. And he's being divinely guided, right? Like the Scribe and the Three of Swords, it shows a lot of like being helped by your higher self and also being helped by like the divine, being guided in the right direction, right? And there's something here about that. This is the inside, right? But then on the outside, we have all this, I want to say, this energy that doesn't match, right? So it's like the inside and the outside don't match. And it reminds me of like a lot of things. It's reminding me of Mac Miller. He has this album called Faces, right? And it's like the song Faces, that's like the first song on the album. He talks about like how he's outside and then inside and then outside and then inside. And then in Gatsby, he also talks about being inside but then outside. And what I'm getting with this outside and inside, it's like two things. With Mac Miller, the inside, they say like Faces was the heart of his career or something like that. And it talks about how like it talks about being both inside and outside. And I feel like this has something to do with like your heart, basically, right? Like your heart is like here, I would want to say, but like you're still outside sometimes. Like there's something about being outside, and that's reminding me of Gatsby, where it's like he's never really like, he'll never really belong, right? Like Gatsby will never belong because he's always going to remain outside, even though he tries to like get inside. There's something here about that. I don't know if any of you guys are like English majors and want to like talk about this, but I'm like a huge nerd and I'm like getting really into this. But I think there's something here about on a mismatch between the inside and the outside, or always feeling outside, not on the inside, or always like presenting like a facade on the outside, but inside there's like a different energy, right? And I think there has to come like some sort of union between the two, right? Maybe now like your outside will reflect your inside because your inside is like on this like positive note, but I feel like your outside is not indicative of your inside, right? Like with the Hero and the Four of Cups in reverse, this is reminding me of like, this is the ego, right? And like not reflecting and not taking a look at things, right? And then it's like here we have the intuition in reverse, right? And we have desire in reverse, right? So we have like this completely different energy, right? We have someone working in ego, someone who's not reflecting, right? We have someone who's like disconnected from their emotions, I'd say, and then like with the intuition card in reverse, like not following like what they actually want, right? And I feel like here with the Empress and the Star, it's like maybe this person desires like companionship, right? Desires like an Emperor, Empress, has like their eyes on somebody, but again, it's like the inside doesn't reflect the outside, right? So we have like this inside that's like ready to go on this journey home, ready to like look for love, right? Like ready to like be in touch with their emotions and their intellect balanced, right? Being divinely guided. And then in the outside, we have all this energy of like the opposite, right? Someone who's just like living in ego, not moving in like the direction they're being guided to move in, not reflecting, not being connected to their intuition, not being connected to their emotions. So I'd want to say, Sagittarius, that there needs to be a connection, right? There has to be a connection. I don't know if there's these faces. Like faces is like I feel like the mask that you wear, right? Is that what this is, like the mask that we wear? But or is it true like that you're not? Because I don't feel like you're disconnected. I feel like you, or maybe you like want to be in that Page of Swords energy, but like you stop yourself from doing it. And I feel like it could be like your ego stopping yourself. There's definitely like a disconnect here, right? There's definitely a disconnect, and I don't know if like you know it. Like that's the thing, it's like, are you aware that there is a disconnect? And I feel like the crone has been coming up in everyone's reading. I think the crone is trying to bring you this message, right? That, yeah, it's crazy because I was talking about like the Page of Swords and the castle, and now I have the Fool and the castle, right? So it's like the same energy, it's the same vibe. It's like the only way to get like home or like to love or to the essence of like where you want to be, right, is to start I feel like it's like to start being like true to yourself, kind of like start, this energy has to match whatever the hell this is, like this shit of like we have like the disconnect from the inside and the outside. It's not gonna ever lead you here. It's never gonna lead you here to this like Ace of Wands, this Fool energy, to like the person that you seek, the your wish fulfillment, like the Star, right? It's like if you don't match what you're doing on the outside with what you feel on the inside, then you're not going to end up anywhere. That's what I want to say. Whatever this facade is, whatever this faces is, always being on the outside of like what you desire, like never really truly being inside. Maybe it's like you're disconnected and you have to connect. There's definitely like something here about though like you not being in touch with like yourself, right? And maybe it's like you put a lot of effort into remaining disconnected. Like I feel like there's a fight here, right? Because it's like, how do we have all this beautiful energy and then all this like energy on the outside? It's like a fight, right? And I guess that's what it could be at times. Like in faces, it's like struggling between like the inside and the outside, like struggling between two things. And it's like the same thing with Gatsby. It's like he's struggling to like be inside a world that he will always be like outside. I don't know if you feel like you'll always remain on the outside, like you can never like really get into this place that you need to be. But I feel like the crone is kind of coming up to say like that she's outside, like she's out here, but I feel like she has to be outside because she has to work on the outside, right? Like she's outside because like there's a way to like get in from the outside. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's a way to get inside. Like, there is a way, right? Like, just how she's telling you how to, like, I feel like this is like how you do it with the Ace of Wands, right? And the Fool energy. It's like she's giving you the key, like, to tell you like how to get in here, right? And how to like put these two together, right? To make them fluid and like, again, together. And it's like, it has a lot to do with like, you don't want to remain on the outside. Like, there's something here about the outside versus the inside. I think you have to like connect, right? You have to connect. Whatever is like, it's like we're being in this Fool energy, right? Like being on the, like the Page of Swords, like very free and very like young, like at heart, and trying to like get to where they need to be and not being afraid, right? And I feel like, again, there's like a passion and there's a desire to like create something. And I feel like it's to create this union within yourself, and it has to happen. Like, it has to, because there's so many like red flags on the outside, and then the inside we have so much help and so much aid. So I think you're being really guided and aided at this time, but I feel like, again, it's like you maybe like stop it, or you do something to like sabotage it. Maybe like it's like a sabotage, and maybe healing has a lot to do with this, but you're being granted, like, even though your intuition is in reverse, like, I feel like you already kind of know, right? You know, with the Star coming out and the Empress, like, you know where it is that you need to be. Like, I feel like there's definitely like this like consciousness, or this like ability to understand what's within, but at the same time like fighting it off, right? So I feel like there has to be like this coming together to create this like union between the two. And I think this season could be really important for you guys to like get into that energy of like, how can I get inside, right? Like, stop remaining on the outside and like go inside, and like have your outer reality reflect your inside. Maybe that's also a thing, like your outer reality isn't reflecting how you feel inside, but maybe it's because like you, again, there's a lot of things going on here. For everybody it's different, but it's definitely like trying to put them together, right? Piece together like how to put them together, right? Like, you're given the wand to create whatever reality you desire, right? Like, I think that's why it's the most important one, because it's like, it's a blank page, right? And you can draw and like paint whatever it is that you want, right? And it's like, you can have whatever you want for your life if you, I feel like if you connect, right? If you connect, you have to connect like the outside and the inside. What you're doing doesn't necessarily reflect how you feel, right? Like, your actions or your like outside life doesn't reflect who you really are, maybe. And that means you're like being inauthentic to yourself, and you will always remain on the outside if you're never really coming together with the inside. Like, you wonder why like your outer reality won't reflect your inner, but it's like you're not giving it a chance to do that, because like there's like a front, right? It's like putting up a front. So yeah, Sagittarius, that's what I got for your reading. Let's pull some advice for you guys. So you guys got Dragonfly Spirit, number 22, Truth Transcends Illusion. This is exactly how I'm feeling. It's like there's a disconnect, right? And it's based on, it's like an illusion, right? It's like the fact that you feel like you can't have these two to connect together, right? Like, maybe there's a lot of pressure on your outside life, like on the outside world, and it's like, but it doesn't reflect who you really are, right? So it's like there's a disconnect within, and it's like the only way to unite the two, right, is to understand what's the illusion, right, and what's not the truth. And I feel like they're trying to tell you that you're being pushed like towards what your soul needs. Like, that's what they're pushing you towards what your soul needs, right? And I was talking about like this consciousness that you need to like develop and like or understand or get into touch with, right? And it's funny because they talk about like consciousness in this card. They talk about that it's like there's like a guidance throughout the journey, but again, it's like hidden. Just like the consciousness, again, it's like it exists, but it's also hidden. But it's like it's like it's there if you need it to be there, but you can overlook it easily. And I feel like part of the illusion is like that you think you don't know, like you think that you're disconnected. I think that could also be an illusion, like your intuition seems to already know where it wants to be, but then again, like there's this disconnect. And I feel like, again, it's like if your intuition is on, in a sense, because you have like hope and a desire to go towards the star, then it's like you can't be that turned off, right? Or if like this is what your inside reality is and your outside isn't reflecting it, so like you already know that there's a disconnect, so you're already like a step ahead, like you can already kind of see through the illusion. So it's like the next step, I think, would be to like, I feel like it's to be open to being authentic to yourself. Like, I think there's something here about like the facade that you put on towards the outside, because it's like what's expected of you. But I feel like your heart is open to like all the infinite things that could happen to you with the Fool. Your heart is already like there, but you're not allowing for this like new thing to come in, right? You're not allowing for the like the Ace of Wands to start, because it's like a battle against yourself, basically, right? Yeah, it's like with Bridget, the goddess of the eternal flame, I'm an eternal flame, and each day my light grows brighter. It's like every day that you remain, it's like every day this is going to become more powerful, right? And it's like you're your own worst enemy right now. You're the one that's allowing this disconnect to happen. Like there's nothing that chains you but yourself. And I think they need you to see that, right? It's like don't give power to whatever you feel like chains you, because you're already like almost there. It's like this is like the breaking point, kind of, where if you allow this like flame to like take place, it will only get brighter and brighter and brighter. So it's like you think that it has to be this crazy jump from like here to here, and it doesn't. It has to do with like all these baby steps that you take to get there, right? It's like you just have to take one step forward and you get pushed 10 more, and then you take another step and you get pushed 20. Do you know what I'm saying? So just keep walking in the direction that you want to go in. Keep walking away from this towards this. Keep letting the inner reality that you want start to like get closer to it, so that your outer will reflect. I feel like this will start to drop away as you take a step like here. Every step you take here is better and better and better. And it's like, it doesn't need to be one giant step, right? It doesn't need to be like one huge advancement here. It's just these little steps that will like help all this shit fall away, right? And then you can become like in tune with, like, you're breaking through this illusion, right? That you've created for yourself. So yes, Sagittarius, I hope that this resonates with you. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys next time.